Hello Clash fans, Trample Damage coming at you today with a Town Hall 11 attack that I call Lava Bats. And what we're doing is we're using 7 Lava Hounds with some balloons and 8 bat spells to take down Town Hall 11s. Now it is a pretty spammy attack. We're just going to go ahead and jump in here with a couple of replays. A couple of these, I don't like, I 3-star pretty much everything that I attack with this when I'm making normal attacks, but unfortunately a lot of them don't have clan castle troops. So here are some of the attacks that I made. There are some friendly challenges and also some of the regular attacks that we've made. You can see this air sweeper is covering this portion of the base, the other air sweeper facing over here. With most air attacks, you usually find it's a great idea to come in behind the air sweeper so that you're not just fighting them the entire time. And so as such, what I normally will do is I use my king and queen to create a little bit of a path here so that when my lava hounds and my bats and my balloons come in, which they're going to come in up here, they're not facing air sweepers the entire time. So usually that's one good thing to keep an eye out for. The other thing is, as much as possible, if your heroes can pick up some wizard towers on the way in, that's another very useful thing. Or you want them clumped together very close to where you're coming in. That way the lava hounds can be tanking and be able to protect the bats through the attack. So we've got the Barbarian King about to break into that compartment, the Queen shooting over here, and now we bring in the balloons and the Lava Hounds. Now, I brought the balloons in before the Lava Hounds only because the defenses that can really start dealing damage to the balloons and the Lava Hounds are a little bit further back. If you have defenses very close, like let's say that this cannon was an archer tower and this barracks was an archer tower, I would have dropped the Lava Hounds first, because then the Lava Hounds are able to start taking damage for those defenses right away and protect the balloons. But I dropped the balloons first on this one just to give them a little bit more time to move while waiting for the rest of the troops to come in. So you can see here we are employing a Stone Slammer and the Grand Warden in air mode, and an Electro Dragon did come out of that clan castle. Now, because the Lava Hounds are heading straight for the air defenses, they're usually going to get out a little bit in front of the balloons, and then the balloons are who are dealing the damage to take down the defenses. As you know, the Lava Hounds deal almost no damage per second. Now, once we have those moving, you can see we dropped all of our bat spells in a clump back here, and those bats are just going to start coming in, and they're also going to be helping take down the defenses. Now what you'll notice is I triggered the Grand Warden's Eternal Tome, and I've got a ton of bats right in here, the Stone Slammer, quite a few balloons, the lava pups from at least 2 hounds that have already been destroyed, plus a couple hounds, and the bats and the balloons wind up taking out so many defenses as they are heading in, and it just moves very quickly. You can see normally, bat swarms are very vicious at taking out defenses. They move very quickly. The Stone Slammer is getting in there. Now, one of the worst things you can encounter with this base is, or with this army, is the Tornado Trap. Because we're using the bats a little bit differently than when you're using the bats purely on the back end, which you can also do with this army composition. But because we don't have as much damage in the actual offensive troops, that's why I like to bring the bats in with the rest of the army. But if the bats catch the Tornado Trap, you can see your swarm disappear. Now, we do have 3 freeze spells plus 1 in the clan castle that we wind up bringing to help keep the pesky wizard towers. Oh, see, there goes Tornado Trap, and bye to the rest of the bat swarm. But so many balloons plus a couple lava hounds, and unfortunately sometimes those lava hounds don't pop, and we usually need the lava pups for cleanup, which is actually how, you can see up here a couple of lava pups wind up getting scattered around, Archer Queen over there helping to clean up, and this is how we wind up cleaning up the rest. You can see some lava pups down here, and that's how these bases get cleaned up. So it's a really fun attack. I'll be honest, it's not like the primary attack that I would wind up using in a war, but it is something that I do have a lot of fun with. And honestly, if you're having a friendly war or a fun war, or if you have, like your Barbarian King is upgrading and you can't really use him, there's a lot of really fun times to use this attack. Before we jump into the next one, of course, if you like the video, comment down below, share with your friends and family. Fun update, if you didn't know already, I do have a creator code with Supercell now. I have been promoted to the highest tier of creation content that they have, and so if you make any purchases in the shop, please feel free to use code TRAMPLE, and you can benefit the channel and my content creation efforts. So in this second attack here, we're doing the same type of thing, right? So sweeper covering this area here, the other sweeper, we want to come in behind it. And I brought the Archer King, the Archer Queen, and the Barbarian King up here to just absolutely destroy this little area. And we're going to wind up taking out the Wizard Tower. Now, the goal here is to have kind of a nice tight little path where the Lava Hounds and the balloons will come in. And I wanted the Archer Queen to be engaged close on that air defense before she ended up actually, or before the Lava Hounds came in, because I wanted some of them to sort of head toward that air defense, but then have her destroy it and then sort of reroute them. So you can see we spread the Lava Hounds, we spread the balloons, Stone Slammer, Grand Warden, and then we've got a Dragon, plus there's balloons in the Clan Castle. But then here come our bat spells, and because the balloons are tanking the Wizard Towers, they're not hurting anybody yet. Get a nice big swarm of bats that are on their way in. We trigger the Warden's Eternal Tome, and we just keep pushing through the base. And I'm telling you, it's actually so much fun to watch this. See, freeze spells being used for the Wizard Towers. I actually think this one I messed up, and I accidentally knuckled a freeze spell someplace. Oh no, that's a different one. Stone Slammer taking out the Wizard Tower. Really nothing left to hurt the Lava Pups. There is an Archer Queen hanging out in the middle, which was unfortunate, but when she comes in here to try and take out the Grand Warden, I do poison her, and she gets some attention from the Lava Pups, and she does end up going down. But again, lots of cleanup troops. One of the things that you'll wind up seeing is the Stone Slammer often will actually last until the very end of the attack, as it just continues slamming through those defenses, because it does have a ton of hit points, and it's almost, just as tanky as having an 8th Hound in the attack. I do put 7 balloons inside of that Stone Slammer, so that is definitely something that is fun to use. So we got the 3-star on that one. Here's another one that was a multiplayer attack. Now, normally, again, air sweeper is the first thing you want to look for. Make sure you can see where the puffs of air will be coming in. And I figured if I could funnel a little bit over here with my king and queen, then I could bring in my lava hounds and my balloons from the top here. And I know I'd face a little bit of air sweeper, but, sometimes the bases are laid out where it's not perfect, and you're going to have to face the air sweeper at least somewhat. So, queen ability pops, here comes 7 lava hounds. Here come 10 balloons, here comes a Stone Slammer, here comes the Warden in air mode, and we've got all of our bat spells coming in, and because the Warden's Eternal Tome is actually pretty spread out right here, it's covering the majority of the bats. Then he comes down toward the middle, we trigger the Grand Warden's Eternal Tome, and just look at how, all those bats, completely invincible, those Lava Hounds, the balloons, the Stone Slammer, the pups that have already popped, all of that stuff. Now, one of the things is you might actually think that multi-target Inferno Towers are are better for this attack because of how big and tanky the Lava Hounds are. You might think single target towers are bad because they can take the Lava Hounds down pretty quickly, but the truth is actually this attack works better against single target towers because the bats are so strong against single target towers. You see, we still have a couple of free spells left, which normally we would be using on these Wizard Towers to keep balloons alive and to keep the bats alive and keep the Wizard Towers from taking them out. But along the back end here, not a whole lot of high damage dealing buildings, but we do have a couple of Lava Hounds in there still tanking. I have done versions of this attack also where I wind up using, which actually you could see in the army camp that I have trained right now for this attack. I have only 8 balloons and I have 10 minions. Sometimes I have run into situations where I wind up running out of cleanup troops because they're spread too thin, and a couple of extra minions would be really good. So here, nothing was in the clan castle, but we did not use the poison spell. We did not use one of the freeze spells, which is often something we would use to help with whatever comes out of the clan castle. This last one, same type of thing. We got air sweeper pointed this direction, we got an air sweeper pointed down here, and so we've got the king and queen coming in on this side to try and create a little bit of funneling. And I left this air defense here because it would sort of anchor the lava hounds on their way in. At least that was the intent, to leave that air defense alone, because if you only have one air defense on the area where you're coming in, like let's say that the archer queen destroyed this one, then all the lava hounds are going to clump up immediately instead of maybe spreading out a little bit to provide some more air cover. So Archer Queen does take out that builder hut and come back down here. I wanted to get a couple of these wizard towers, which is, like I said, again, one of the good things you can do on the way into the base. And then we've got wizard tower down. Here come the lava hounds, and you can see the lava hounds are moving some toward this air defense, some toward this air defense, all the balloons, and the stone slammer with the warden coming in behind. And here come the bat spells to get to the more valuable target right away of the eagle artillery. So Archer Queen takes out one lava hound, and we are triggering the Eternal Tome. Trigger the Eternal Tome. There we go. And again, same thing. All those bats, completely invincible. All those balloons, lava pups, completely invincible. We got a single target Inferno Tower over here with the Stone Slammer that goes down, and these bats just start tearing through here. They get 4 defenses down before the the invincibility wears off, taking down another air defense. Oh, this is the one where I think I knuckled a freeze spell. I think I went to go move my iPad and accidentally dropped one of them over here by the Dark Elixir storage. So freeze spell on the, yeah, there it is. Freeze spell on the Wizard Tower. And here we really didn't need that freeze spell. We didn't need the one that we knuckled over here, and I still have one left over. This is such a powerful army if you can wind up pushing your troops in and focus. What did we freeze? Oh, froze the Archer Tower. It's such a powerful army, and it's a ton of fun. If nothing else, the game is, it's so versatile. There are so many different armies you can use, and while you might not necessarily see this as your primary attack to use in war, if you start using it in multiplayer attacks, I think what you'll see is how much fun this attack is, and you might find yourself making this attack in war. I have done it myself plenty of times in war and gotten 3 stars with it. It is a lot of fun. Make sure to share this with your clanmates. You know, there's a lot of fun content that I do have on my channel. This attack actually is something that I started doing after I designed a Town Hall 14 attack using Lava Hounds and Dragon Riders, and I tried applying it to different Town Hall levels, but of course, absent the Dragon Rider at Town Hall 11, it is something that you have to wind up using balloons for as the defense targeting troop to be able to take things out. Reminder, I did get my creator code, so if you are interested in supporting all of my content creation efforts, please use that when you're making any purchases in the shop. And in the meantime, Trample Damage saying, you guys have an absolutely wonderful day.